Welcome back to the land of rebuilt grader axles, oversized parts washers, projects that I'll probably never finish, and blown up engines. So in this video, we're gonna do a catastrophic failure diagnosis on this Caterpillar 3306. DI, so it's direct injected, turbo aftercooled, and it's had quite the catastrophic failure, as you can see through both ends. Now this engine is a core return, so we sold our customer a rebuilt 3300, and this is what we got back from them. So in this video, we're gonna tear this thing completely down and see if we can figure out why this thing had a absolute catastrophic failure. So obviously, this engine has failed. Huge hole in the side of it, but we're gonna start from the top. So we're gonna start taking the turbo off, take the aftercooler off, get down to the head, and see what parts are salvageable and what parts obviously have to go into the scrap bin. And maybe if we get lucky, we can find out why that failed and how we could prevent it. Hey Bamba, you wanna help us tear down that engine?
Yep.
I saw you eyeballing it. I saw you eyeballing that piece of candy right over there.
You wanna rebuild this engine?
Oh yeah, we're gonna fix it.
Okay, bring the new block.
I think we're gonna need more than just a block. And the light a little bit better, and away from the parts washer. Hey, it's bolted to the stand at least. Okay, coming southwest. Northwest, sorry. I'll ran you over.
Yep, you did. It's okay.
All right, drop her down. We'll just do a quick visual inspection first. Other than the obvious gaping hole in it. So obviously it's had, you know, huge cratered hole. I'm just gonna look and see if there's anything else obvious that we haven't noticed yet. It's all complete. Fuel pump. I don't see anything damaged. Sometimes you notice things on engines where you see obviously there's a big failure, but you see other things that may have contributed to the failure. And on the outside, I don't really see much. Starter nose cone's broken off of it, so when this thing failed, you can see the starter is still technically attached. So when it blew up, that rod came flying out and it knocked the starter off. I think what we'll do is, let's start by pulling the aftercooler, and we'll get into the valve train there and see if we see any other damage. By looking at the head, we can possibly tell if this thing ran low on oil, and you'll see, you know, dry rocker arms. Things will be really clean looking, blue, signs of heat, so we're gonna be looking for that while we tear this thing down. I did notice some rocks and debris, normal, but you can tell this engine was being top loaded on, so when they have a big scraper, big twin engine at the mine, they use this for loading gravel. And you can tell the operator of the loader was dumping rocks on their engine. Definitely not helping it. I don't think it caused a failure though.
Is there another one?
30 missing, we gotta get these 4 bolts out. There's 2 of them. So Cat uses these yellow O-rings to hold everything together. Usually you use grease to assemble and it comes apart a lot easier. Did the turbo still spin? Did we even check that? So you reach in there.
Oh yeah, she spins.
Got any shaft play or anything?
Not too bad.
No? Normal. Okay, well, let's work on getting this aftercooler off, and we can get down to the valve cover. So we gotta pull this tube off right here. These 4 bolts. Aftercooler, the top of it's gonna come off, and then there's bolts inside of this aftercooler housing that's going to secure it to the head here. So once we pull that off, we can get to the valve cover, which honestly, we could get to the valve cover without pulling the aftercooler off, but we're tearing the engine down anyway, and we can get to the valve cover much easier by pulling the aftercooler off. Make sure we got all our bolts out. I already see a problem.
Do you?
Yep. Look at all the oil running out of the aftercooler. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but there's a bunch of oil running out of this thing. You should not have oil in your aftercooler. That's bad. Okay, aftercooler housing should be ready to pull. Come on. So there's a little, this hose actually goes into here, so we're probably gonna have to pull this hose off right here and pull this back. So this guy, unscrew our screwdriver. There we go. So we pull this off, and there should be, yeah, see how that goes in there? Little O-ring, holds that in. So we've got oil in our aftercooler. That is not good. We're still being held. We're being held on this ferrule down here. Come on out of there now. Okay. Just gonna leave that on there for now. Let it lean down. There's a bunch of water in it. No. So now we should be able to pull our aftercooler out. So an aftercooler is like an intercooler. So what it does, cools the air charge going into the engine, so it makes the air denser. You can give it more fuel, you make more power. Kind of like an intercooler, but it has water running through it. Okay, so that's out. Just your connectors. Now we should have the aftercooler. There's our aftercooler. I do see a lot of oil in here. And if you look here, we do have, looks like a failed aftercooler as well. So we have a damaged aftercooler. Can't feel if it's wet at all. Could be oil, but I'm also noticing a lot of rust here too. So we could have either moisture intrusion or this aftercooler is leaking, which it is damaged here at the end. So that's definitely a problem. We'll have to have that tested if we were to reuse it. Okay. We're gonna have some bolts down here that hold your aftercooler on. You got 2 down here. I've seen that where guys mess that up too, and they'll take these bolts out thinking that that somehow holds the aftercooler down, and they break the aftercooler off the engine. You don't want to drop any bolts down here. And we still don't want to drop bolts, but I don't think it's gonna hurt it any worse than it already is. Ooh, that bolt was loose. Little spacer. Hold your aftercooler on. And then this should pop off.
There's one more.
Oh yeah, right there. We left it nice and loose for us.
Perfect.
Turns out Bottom after cooler housing is off. Kind of keep that together. Clear all of our bolts. A lot of rocks.
Extra bolt.
I wonder where that came from. Let's go ahead and zip this valve cover off and see if we had low oil pressure. Now we are gonna drop some dirt into our blown up engine. I don't think that was in there. Yeah, a lot of dirt into our blown up engine. It's okay. Just kind of checking to see if it dropped a valve or something. Hey! Look at what I found. This is why you always check from the top to the bottom, because it gives you clues what could have happened to this thing. And look at what we have here. That is a rocker arm, not attached any longer. Is it bent? Does not look bent. But what clue does this give us? Probably an overspeed, if I was to guess, right? Because when you overspeed, your valve train can't keep up, you lose a rocker arm, then it blows up. This one's still attached. Let me just hit this with a hammer, a little dead blow, and we'll see if that valve is still good. Good.
See this? That one's missing the push rod completely.
Well, it's because that half the cam is gone.
Ah,
Yeah, because when the cam gets taken out,
that'll happen.
yeah, that'll happen on them bigger jobs. Could have been an overspeed, or when this thing blew up, did it take the camshaft out? You lose a lifter, and are we gonna find a lifter in the oil pan? Because your lifter is going to the bottom of the block, right? So when this thing exploded, did it take out the block, take out the camshaft, and then did our lifters drop into the oil pan, which we're gonna find out. Still good here. I've seen pretty much all I want to see up here. Let's go ahead, put some lifting eyes on this thing, pop that oil pan off, and see what it gives us. So you saw that this rocker arm was completely off here. Here's our push rod. It's in the block. So, are we gonna find a push rod and a lifter in here? We'll find out when we pull this oil pan. I don't see any signs of lack of oil in here. Nothing's blue, nothing's really burned. What'll tell us too is when we pull this oil pan, we'll look at the rod caps and we'll see if any of the other bearings have been exploded. This one is obviously gone. There's no rod left on it. This one still has a rod in here. So when we lift this thing up, pull that oil pan, it'll tell us a little bit more. Now, can we pull the pan with it on the stand or no? I'm gonna say no. We're gonna have to pull the stand off of it to get to it. So how big of a boom do you think this thing made when it blew up?
I don't know, but I was also thinking, how far do you think that rod flew?
It took the starter off.
Yeah, we know it went that way.
Yeah.
So how far do you think?
How far do you think the starter flew? That's the real
and this
question.
is covered. Do you think it went through the panel? Do you think
I
it
don't
went
know.
through the door there? How many
There's
doors?
a lot of energy down there.
How many doors do you think it took out?
There's not really any doors. Well, I guess there is on the back of the 37. I wonder if it caused a fire. They're very lucky if that did not cause a fire when it blew up. All that hot oil, starter, sparks flying everywhere. Very lucky.
She just in there a little crooked.
Did you build this stand?
Yes, I built this one too.
This one made it. This is because it's the core return stand. There goes Bomba actually working again, ruining my audio quality.
Every time.
Every time. Bomba!
Yep.
You're ruining my audio quality. What are you doing? Actually doing some work over there?
Yes. I have something broken.
What's broke? Ah, you got a bolt stuck in there.
Yep.
Gonna use the torch?
Yes.
All right. While Robert's getting that engine unbolted, take a look at the 16M axle. Bomba's been working super hard on this thing, getting ready to install all new bearings in it, cleaning up the welds, checking everything out, making sure it's ready to go, because we're gonna completely rebuild this entire frame. You got her. Yeah, let's just keep it kind of low right there.
Right there.
Yeah, and we'll zip the pan off it and take a look. Again, rated chains only for picking this kind of stuff. Did we check to see if there's any oil in it? Oh, I checked earlier in the video, or that last video, and there was no oil, so I think we're good. Just check one more time. Yeah, I think we're good. What'd you find?
Can't tell.
It's aluminum.
I know, a piece of a piston?
Piece of a piston.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's the inside of it. That's where your pin goes.
Yeah.
There's the lock right there.
Yep. That's your wrist pin.
Yep.
It's almost as big as your head.
Yeah. See a lot more pieces of stuff down in there too. I think it's full. Is it full of oil or is it drained?
No, I checked the oil. It's good. Let me know if you guys want some Carnage mystery packages. Maybe a couple shirts you guys buy. Maybe I'll throw a couple of Carnage pieces in there for you. Let me know. Otherwise, we just throw them away.
Extension.
The mystery of the oil pan. What are we gonna find inside?
I think something. There's gonna be a tail. There's a lot of stuff in it. It's how much it weighs.
How heavy that is when we pull it?
Because it's an aluminum pan, so it shouldn't be that heavy.
And there's no oil in it. People complain that I talk way too much in my videos. What do you think? Should I just shut up?
We don't say a word. Let's do a video where we don't talk.
Should I just not be like mimes? Don't say anything?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do I talk way too much in my videos? So there I go, yapping again about talking too much. Am I talking too much about talking too much? Let's just get on with it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tap it, hopefully break the seal. 'Cause it does look like they pre-sealed it with silicone, so should come apart.
Yeah.
Should get some separation.
Oh yeah. We got a good 1/4 inch. She's ready to go. Did you forget a bolt?
Possibly, actually. Might be this.
The dipstick tube?
Yeah.
dipstick tube is holding it on. Bracket's off. Now that pan is loose. We just got this little line right here we got to take off. You know, the viewers complain there's not enough light. So I got some lights. Valid complaint.
That is a valid complaint.
Can you see what he's doing?
I think it's making this harder for me to see.
Yeah, this unscrews right here. Yeah, tighten that thing up. Make it tighter. Keep going.
I was pulling it this way, and then you said tighten it up. So it, like, that's tighter.
Keep going. We all love giving Robert a hard time. Tighten that thing up. She ready to go? Yep. Nice. That's a savable dipstick for sure.
It's worth $5.
Being a cat part number, that's probably 300 bucks.
New from Cat?
Probably. Okay, so we got a couple bolts left in here.
Yeah. I think you want me to just set it down lower?
Yeah, I think we get lower to the ground and then zip the bolts out of it and lift up. That'd be good. Okay. Okay. Well, that wasn't very glorious. There's nothing in it. Ooh, never mind. See, what I thought was the pan is actually liquid metal. So that is straight up metal sludge. I'm gonna get a rag and we'll see how magnetic it is. So I can't find my magnet anywhere, but I have one of these lights and it's got a magnet on it. So we'll just take a little sample here. We'll see if anything is magnetic in here. Yes, I'm gonna say we have magnetic material in our oil pan. I think we cut open that oil filter and we see if this thing was making metal for a while and that rod bearing let loose. That's what I'm kind of thinking, is this thing had a pre-existing or premature failure because of a rod bearing failure. It wasn't an overspeed, I don't think. Because usually when you have an overspeed and it flies apart, you won't have a ton of, you'll have debris, but you won't have a ton of metal in your filter because it won't run that long. It'll throw a rod up the side of it, lock up, and be done. So let's pull that oil filter, cut it open, and see if we got a bunch of material in it. Think I can get it one-handed? How strong do you think I am?
Not that strong.
Just kidding, I already listened to that. How heavy is the oil filter? Not very heavy. Let's find a suitable bucket to drain it in. Hi, suitable bucket.
That's a clean bucket. I have a bucket with oil over here already. Right there next to the bench, conveniently placed.
Right here?
Right here.
It's got oil in it. I don't see a ton of metal running out of it. We'll let this drain here for a second, then we'll cut it open. It can get pretty messy if you don't let them drain out. It'd be kind of a cool painting. There's people that paint, you know what I'm talking about, or they like leave the pendulum and then they paint.
Yeah, it might be a cool painting, yeah.
An oil filter painting?
Be kind of cool.
Yeah. Go to Mr. Vice. I've had this Vice forever, since I was a little kid. My dad used this Vice. Don't know what brand it is. Columbia. Never heard of that. Till now. Now, did I put my oil filter cutter back? Look at that. Because I used it last, I put it back. Robert. You want to cut as close to the top as you can. It's more rigid there. It'll cut a whole lot easier. Just gonna go around. This is an old exhaust pipe cutter that I bought from the Cornwell truck, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. It works great for cutting oil filters, but I'm sure Cat has an actual part number for an oil filter cutter.
It's probably $5,000.
Probably $5,000. I think I paid, I don't know, $100 for this thing. Cat filters are also really thick. They're a good filter, but they are no match for the Cornwell exhaust cutter. Okay. All right, before we make a huge mess, let's clean an area and we'll get this thing open. Ready? Let's find a cutter now and we'll cut these strands open and see what we got.
It's in the pile.
The cutter is in the pile. Yes, it is. Just cut the little strands. Cat does make a really good filter. I'll give him that. Compared to like Wix or Napa or whatever. I mean, Napa and Wix aren't bad filters, just Cat's better. 100%. Make some cuts down here. I have to cut myself. Sounds like a cleaning a fish. When you get in there on the spine, you know what I'm talking about? Cleaning a trout. Get a little bit of that. If you want a good sample though. There we go. Now we'll take this filter media here. It's gonna kind of flop out and we'll stick this in our vise, squeeze the oil out, and that should just leave us with material from the engine. Just doing a quick inspection of the inside of the oil can. I don't see a lot of stuff in there. We'll drain it out in the bucket. Not a lot of chunks. Doesn't stink. That filter media is going to tell us all we need to know though. Now when we squeeze this together, we should have a bunch of oil run out of it. Here's our oil. I'm just trying to keep it clean here, but there's the oil running out of it. So, what do we have?
Here she blows.
Blowed engine. Hopefully you can see that on camera. There's a bunch of bearing material in there. So, where does that leave us? Was it an overspeed? I'm gonna say probably no. What I think has happened is we have had a bearing failure. And once you have a bearing failure, kind of all the bearings start to go, because once you have one bearing make a bunch of material, all that material goes to the rest of the bearings and they all start making metal, putting it in your oil filter. Eventually you run out of metal to make, goes metal on metal contact onto the rod journal from the rod itself, because there's no bearing left. You get a real severe knock. With this being a rear engine scraper, they probably could not hear that knock. They probably heard it explode. But being so far away from the rear pack of the engine, they probably didn't hear it, and they just ran that rod bearing until it absolutely exploded. I was kind of disappointed in the oil pan. We didn't find a whole bunch of stuff in there. Maybe they already cleaned it up. But the oil filter tells all tales. You cannot lie. The oil filter does not lie. And the oil filter says we lost a bearing or 2 or 4. Metal on metal to the crankshaft, and then Bob's your uncle. catastrophic failure, rod through the side of the block, starter goes flying, sparks are everywhere, smoke, and then I get a phone call. Quentin, we need an engine. Usually how that happens.
I think I'm gonna go fishing.
You gonna go fishing in the engine?
Yeah. Ooh, got something already. There's your bearing. Or piece of your bearing.
Yes, it is, and it's flat. It's weird, it hasn't gone all the way through the material here, so you have like 3 stages of a bearing. You got your steel layer, kind of a lead layer, and then a copper layer. I'm gonna say lead, it's not lead, it's something else. But there's 3 layers of a bearing. And you can sort of see that in here. Let me get this light so you can kind of see that a little bit better. There's a little bit of the copper showing through. Right here you can see a copper flake. Back is steel. Steel, right? Steel. So this is probably from a rod that came apart, got stuck inside the engine. Let's pull that bottom plate off there and see if we got a bunch of stuff. Just for our own amusement, we're gonna pull this pan off right here because you have 2 pieces of your oil pan. We're gonna pull the other plate back, see if we can get more chunks out of this thing. Go. That's a little more satisfying. Look at that. That's what's left of a rod bolt. So rod bolt's gone. Light material. Aluminum, part of your piston. So we have the other half of the piston. I wonder if the other half is still up inside of it. We'll take the crane and we'll lift it up and we'll see if we can see inside. Okay. Let's see. Oh! Big fail. There's your piston. I wonder where the rod went, because the rod is just MIA. I wonder if the rod actually came out and went flying. She's MIA. She ain't here. The other rod, is it here? Yep. Everything else looks... That one's bad. It's blue. So this rod is junk. This one is too. Blue, blue. So check this out. So, overheated rod, seized. Overheated, seized. See the color difference? Lighter, and then dark. Light, and then burned. Crankshaft's gone, this one's burned too. I'm glad we took the bottom of the pan off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're saving that.
I think the crank's toast. Just too bad.
I mean, I think she was toast when we looked at it the first time.
Oh, I had some optimism.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not very optimistic usually.
No, I had some optimism. I was like, it's only one, you know, might not be that bad. But I think she's toast.
Yeah, she's gone.
I don't think you can fix that.
Were you optimistic about the block?
Yeah, I thought, you know, we could maybe braze that. If you guys don't know what brazing is, it's welding cast iron, pretty much.
Here's our lifter, solid lifter. That one's missing. And what's missing here is your camshaft. So when that rod came apart, you know, the camshaft came with it.
This one's missing just a piece of it.
Nah, she's gone.
So there's supposed to be a flat piece. It sheared the flat piece off when the cam broke off.
Well, there's supposed to be a camshaft there and a block.
You can tell there's supposed to be a camshaft there too, because of the way it is.
This is an aspen. You can tell that it's an aspen tree because of the way it is.
Yep.
Because of the way it is.
Because of the way it is. It broke the block like all the way up in there too. It broke everything. Yeah, it broke the liner.
So a full-blown catastrophic failure on this 3306 DI engine. What was the initial failure? I'm going with a rod bearing or somehow low oil pressure. A lot of those rods were burned. Could that have been from that initial bearing failure, then all the material going through those journals and then causing the other rod bearings to fail? Possibly yes. We'll never truly know the full story. The oil filter gave us a pretty good indication of what happened. What do you think? Did this engine take the cake on catastrophic failures so far?
From what I've seen, yeah, this is probably the worst.
What do you guys think? Was the 950M engine the worst? Was the 773 engine the worst from Nevada way back in the day? Or was it this 3306 DI out of that 37E scraper? You'll have to let me know in the comment section. But for me, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I think this was the biggest catastrophic failure that I have seen so far, which I've seen a lot of engines fail. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I like making them. They're a ton of fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.